What is good, y'all? SG Game, man. It's your boy SmooveGotGame back with another Pittsburgh Pirates rebuild, baby. I hope you guys did enjoy episode 1 when we got into opening day. But I do sound a little different, boys feeling under the weather a little bit, so fighting through the flu commentary here, not just a little sickness commentary. But make sure you guys leave likes, comment, and subscribe. Let me know how you guys are feeling about the series. Be active in those comments. I want to get active with you guys too as well. And obviously opening day, as you can see, didn't go too well for us. I mean, big offensive day. 5 runs on the board, but we did give up 7, so pitching staff leaves a lot to behold. Thankfully, that's where a lot of our depth in the minor leagues are. But here's a quick recap of last game in case you guys missed the episode of how the stats went. To go watch the game in its entirety, make sure you guys click that link. Go ahead and just tune into that game last week so you guys can see exactly how that went. And like I told you guys in that episode, we will be going through year 1 kind of quick. So here, we're going to simulate our way through the rest of this 4-game series to get the season kicked off against Miami. Game 2 features us losing here 9-6. Obviously getting a critical situation in there. But we ended up losing the whole series entirely. 3-1. 3-game losing streak to start the season. Putting up some good runs. Just not a whole lot of good pitching on the back end. I mean, in this game, 9 hits as a squad, 4 runs. We only gave up 7 hits. No errors, but somehow still gave up 8 runs as far as our pitching staff goes. So we got to fix that. A couple extra base hits here from Reynolds, Tellez, and Davis. Marco Gonzalez, though, 5 walks, 7 earned. Wow. 5 walks, 6 hits to give up 7 earned runs is crazy. That had to be like a huge inning. And then here, 6-9 the next day. Once again, big run support game, but a lot of hits given up with 16 of those things. Almost everybody touched the ball this game, looks like, except for Lee Oliver Puergo. Our second baseman 0 for 5 with 3 Ks. It's not a good look. Davis hit 2 home runs here today, though, 3 RBI. So you get some more people on base for him to get them home runs with. And then the bullpen is the one that kind of sold this one. 4 runs by Perez is not good, but still could have got the dub if the bullpen had held up. And once again, Contreras has a pretty bad start, only able to get out 2 outs. Now, the game that we did get the dub, still putting up good run support, but we finally get a good pitching performance. Only giving up 3 runs as a squad, 13 hits. See a home run here from Connor Joe. A whole lineup's looking strong. Lee Oliver, after an 0 for 5 day, comes back and goes 3 for 5. So good job with him leading off. I feel pretty strong about that. Key Brian Hayes gets 2 stolen bases, and Bailey Falter getting the dub. 10 hits, 5 strikeouts. That's pretty good work from the back half of our rotation. Love to see that, even though he gave up 10 hits, was still able to be effective and get us a dub. So we're going to look to try to get through much of this first month here, April. So to do that, we're going to also simulate through some games, hit a couple critical situations, some different player lock stuff here as we're jumping into a series now against the Washington Nationals. A little bit of a critical situation here. We have the lead 2-1. 2 outs to have a runner in scoring position, though, here for Eddie Rosario. On the mound, we have Jose Hernandez, who we saw and have seen so far this season be very, very good out of the bullpen for us. We're looking to keep that up here and to have a strong season to give me a reason to bring you back for 1, maybe 2 more years. As a strong lefty in the bullpen, he's looking like he could potentially shut doors for us, maybe even as a secondary setup role, or at least like a 7th inning man here. Another clutch arm to go to as he gets the ground ball to go ahead and get us past that 7th and go ahead and take us further into this game, still with the lead intact. And one thing I do like about this whole setup system here with the critical situations, I get the opportunity to choose. Do I want to finish playing out the game? Do I want to return to simulation? What is it that I want to do next? So here in this situation, we'll just go ahead and finish out the game, but with some CPU on CPU gameplay so you guys can see what that would look like. We're starting off the top of the 8th with a ground ball right past second base for O'Neal Cruz to get a lead-off base hit here as we try to go ahead and increase this lead here against Tanner Rainey. Done pretty good keeping the game close for them, giving it time for their bats to wake up. But now he's got to go up against Rowdy Tellez. That's fouled back into the seats. Up against that netting. Imagine how crazy that would be if that net wasn't there. Like how scary those seats would be. And those seats would have to be crazy, stupid cheap because of the injury factor alone, a death factor alone. I mean, one of them things come back hard enough. Like, that's crazy. Glad they put that net up. But here, I'm not glad they got this double play. Running around the base pass is Jake Swinski. He's able to at least beat it out and avoid a double play, giving Michael A. Taylor, who we've seen crush the rock, a chance to maybe extend the inning, but it will not happen. Right out to the right fielder, man. He gloves it in. Great play there, just standing underneath it. And we're going to go to a Aroldis Chapman here. Set up, man, trying to close out the 8th, getting his first action of the 2024 season. 2019 former reliever of the year. Almost a 50% strikeout rate. 14 holds in 61 games. And this year we're looking to have him hopefully set up our closer beautifully and maybe even come in the game in some clutch moments. It looks like some of our best relievers are our lefties. Herbert Ruiz has 5, 6, and 7 due up in the bottom of the 8th for the Nationals as they get ready and set to come back in this game. Now, obviously, these are easier to do and record. I mean, all you have to do is really put this game up in the background. Go make you some pancakes and let the game play take over. And it's really interesting because you get to actually see how some of these players really play. This is the most ratings based that you can absolutely get here. You're going to see exactly how good some players are, how bad some others are, how good the defense is, and then exactly how good your pitching staff is here as you get to watch where they mess up and give up a lot of these runs. What pitches do they not throw well? What are they doing? And here we're seeing a great ball on the outside. That splitter gets the double play that we need, leading us out of the 8th with our 2-1 lead still intact. And we will call on our closer, David Bednar. Already has 1 save so far this season where he only had to get 1 out. But here today I need a full innings of work, 3 outs. And we can go ahead and call it a day and call it a season 2 and 3. Idle Mauro Vargas. This is going to be a pretty easy roll for us. 8, 9, and then 1. So as long as we can get the first 2 outs, we should be fine of a rally here. This is going to be a deep fly ball going back to right field where it'll be gloved in. Great play out there in right as Victor Robles will come up next here. 1-1 count. Gets the call on the 4-seamer in on the knees. As we'll have to look to see what David's got to work with here. Come right back with these. Ooh, that was nasty break on the 12-6. Getting a clean strikeout on that one. Looks like the 12-6 might be a strikeout pitch here for our closer as he gets another one on it. And your Pittsburgh Pirates get the dub here on the road, taking down the Washington Nationals. Actually, are we on the road? Yeah, we are on the road. I don't know why I forgot that for a second, obviously with the bottom of the 9th them hitting. But taking them out on the road, finally getting win number 2 on the season. Bednar getting his 2nd save too as well, so I guess it's a good pattern to have. When we get dubs, our closer gets saves. Now, typically, the record for saves is 62, so we don't want to make that a guaranteed pattern of only getting dubs when he gets a save. But it's nice to know that we got somebody that can come in, shut the door in the 9th when we do have those leads. And I can trust the back end of my bullpen at least to keep us up. Now, unfortunately, there we lose the next day out. Get a trade offer here from the Blue Jays already, as they want one of our young prospects here, Sung-Chi Cheng, for a reliever, Yamisi Garcia, 33 years old. This would be like a move to make if we were like in the playoff chase, but I'm not giving up a young 22-year-old prospect for an old reliever for absolutely no reason. We ain't going to the postseason this year. At least I don't think so. That's not the aspirations. The aspirations aren't a World Series championship this first year, so we're not making a trade like that happen. And obviously, when we're losing series like this, I mean, ain't much we can do. We're already 2-5 here, losing the first 2 series of the season, going into a series here against Baltimore where we're down 8-6 with bases loaded. We end up walking away that game, still somehow losing 8-6, so that was a miracle. But losing nonetheless, and it will actually lead us into our first visitation here to the scouting boards, man. This is where we really are going to make our bread and butter. This is where we're going to pick our players and really build this team. So we're going to have a lot of focus here on this scouting. Maybe not so much in this episode, but in the coming episodes leading up to the draft, we definitely will key in and let you guys know what I'm doing, thinking, and going about with this scouting process. Now, after looking at the roster, I felt like our biggest needs here was definitely outfield and corner infield. I did try to go starting pitcher here at first because I wasn't paying attention much. But we're going to this year focus on first, center, and right field. So that's where I'm going to try to keep our focus as far as our scouting. So here the first round, first baseman, West, and international. They seem to have the best top talent, and center field international because we do have the number 7 pick in the draft as well as 36. So 2 first round picks this year. So we want to make both of those count. If we can get 2 really good position players, that would be beautiful for us. And here, just a quick look at the roster, just in case you guys did forget like where we are strong at, what we have our uses for. Our only A potential players are starting pitchers. We have a couple other Bs. So you can see exactly why I'm not the king in no starting pitcher. You know, have Paul, Jared, Quinn. That's a good 3-man rotation. If they all end up working out and getting their overalls to a good level, we can go sign 2 free agent starting pitchers that are veterans that can hold down the back end, or maybe even just draft one in the later rounds that can come out and be effective. But the corners, we're really weak. We solid up the middles. And then our outfield, we're okay. We're just old. So left field, 28, 27. Center field, Jack, he's 25, but kind of lacking in a lot of good categories. And right field, we're extremely old and underperformed. So definitely looking to strengthen those positions for us if we could. Now, I'd love to make a trade out here and go get Riley Green back. But going up against the Tigers, our former series, and we lose game 1, 3-2. But we're going to go ahead and key in on this series and check in and see what they're doing. So far this year, 7-3, not bad at all. Love what they kind of have the roster at right now, because they got Parker Meadows in the outfield instead of Riley Green. Okay, no worries at all with that. I mean, I'm fine with not facing them at all. But we only got 3 hits as a team, 2 runs, 3 errors. Pretty concerning here in this game. The fact that we only gave up 3 runs off of that, though, is great. Mitch Keller, 7 innings, 1 earned. Fantastic start as an ace. Just wish it could have been with a dub. And that'll lead us into actually going in game 2. As I didn't want to pitch with Mitch Keller again, obviously we pitched with him opening day, so we're going into our second starting pitcher in the rotation, as we're going to take on the Detroit Tigers here at home in PNC Park. The 2-9 Pirates looking to get their 3rd win of the season and show that this is going to be the better franchise over the Tigers. So leave a like, comment, and subscribe, as this will be the Game's full game experience. So we'll have some other stuff after the game too to wrap up everything, but today we're going to focus on Marco Gonzalez. 2 games started this year already. 9 innings of work and 11 ERA. Already got some things to fix with him and see if he's going to be even a long-term solution, or is it just going to be a 1 year and let him walk, or whatever his contract is up. It's another thing we got to focus on too, but that'll be more so after the draft into August, September. Contract extensions. Who's played well enough to earn extensions? Whose contracts are up soon? And where is our big spending money at and located? So I can get it off the books if it's somebody not important. But kick back, sit back, and relax. Grab your popcorn as we have opening baseball here. Not opening day, but opening out. So Gio Urshela lines that one right to our 3rd baseman, and then Zach McKinstry up next. Flying this one out to Taylor in right center field, as he will go ahead and casually jog underneath that one. There he goes, that man Riley Green, 265 on the season. One of our young stars back in the Tiger series. Love to see him out here having a decent start to the year. But right now we need to go ahead and set him down. And Marco Gonzalez looking strong here to start off the game. That is 3 up, 3 down. Hopefully that is a good sign of things to come. Pretty good start to the game, and we'll have to face off against their ace. One of my favorite starting pitchers when it comes to any series. We had him in the Reds. We obviously got blessed with him with the Tiger series. It's that man, Tariq Skubal, Mr. MVP himself. He's going to be looking to shut us down here today, as we've been testing out some different lineups, trying to figure out what works for us. And right now we've got our 3 best hitters, all of them hitting over 300 at 1, 2, and 3. Just trying that out to see what happens. Michael A. Taylor also has one of the best, if not the best, on base percentage on the whole team. So I wanted to put him at the 1 spot to give room for Henry Davis, our catcher, who I said we're going to be building around. He's had a great start to the season. You see he's hitting 333 this year. And way to fight here, this opening at bat. 8 pitches deep, as Michael Taylor ends up popping this one to the pitcher. But it's never underestimated. Those long at bats early in the game are going to lead to runs in that 5th and 6th inning. So we got to be patient, not just swing at anything. You see Rowdy Tellez after Henry Davis batting 342. So like I said, a lot of our guys hitting 300s. We got them at the top of the lineup to try to get the best chance of scoring up top, and hope that our cleanup guys can come in and clean up the best way possible. Now Tellez here trying to force Squadda to get into the 20s in the 1st inning. That would be beautiful. But he does watch that 4-seamer at the knees for strike number 3. Go ahead and unthaw the dugout, my boys. That heat went right by you. And then O'Neal Cruz struggling to start the year at 184. And now he's striking out yet again to drop that even further and keep that runner at first base. So no runs through those first 2 innings so far, as we jump here to the top of the 3rd. Marco Gonzalez still dealing, just now hitting his 20th pitch. after 2 strong innings of work. But here is going to be a fly ball to left field. Reynolds is going to have to chase this one down, and it'll bounce up against the wall. Throwing into the cutoff man, that'll be a leadoff double for Javi Baez. Tigers product that they put a lot of money into. Didn't really work out in our series. I think we ended up getting rid of him after year 2. I think it was a trade too. I don't think we just let him go free agency, but ended up letting him go and building around other pieces instead and rebuilding the middle of that infield off of younger, better talent. I'm giving y'all all the sneak peeks, bro. If y'all already seen that series yet, man, make sure you guys go back and check that series out. Watch it from start to finish. See how that thing went. See if I was able to complete the rebuild. Remember, the goals of these rebuilds is not only just to get 1 championship. If we have enough time before the game drops again, we want to try to hit 2. That'll at least, I know that's not technically a dynasty, but if you can go back to back, that's hard to do in any sport. So here, we're not going back to back with anything but giving up back to back runs to the Tigers as 2 runs come across the plate off Gio Urshela's base hit up the middle. Marco Gonzalez starting to show a little bit of weakness here. As after that base hit, he has a full count here with Riley Green on deck. 286 with runners in scoring position all year. And he's going to come in with a bases loaded situation here. This is the 3rd walk of the inning for Marco Gonzalez. As we're not trying to walk home any more runs here, so we have to pitch Green aggressively and try to maybe get this one on the ground. 2 swings and misses is what we need, though. That one's on the ground. Cruz is going to have to go chase this one. He'll throw the second for 1 over the first base, not in time. Green must have worked on that speed. I don't remember him having 88 speed. But having 0 steal is a blessing for me. That means I don't have to worry about him taking off. Instead, we'll get a ground ball to Les. This time, Cruz is able to go ahead and finish off the double play for us instead of start it. I mean, we're down 3-0 still, but at least we were able to get out of that inning without it being much, much, much worse. As now it's time for our bats to wake up here. Bottom of the 4th inning, Tree Screwball still going strong, but gives up a leadoff double to Ronnie Celez this time. Exactly how their inning got started, so maybe we'll even match pace and get 3 runs ourselves this time. O'Neal. 0 for 1 on the day. Looking to hopefully be my star. That's why we have him at the 4, despite even struggling. He's got some of the best hitting ratings on the team. With that 72 clutch, too, coming in to help here. That's a fly ball to left. That will not lead to any kind of movement there as we do not have enough speed at second. We'll just keep him there with 1 out. Brian Reynolds takes his first pitch that he sees down the line. Now it's going to be called fair. We're going to go ahead and send the runner on home. Thought about sending Reynolds to second base, but instead we just leave him at first. And we'll take the RBI base hit. Leading us right to Connor Joe up next as he evades getting hit behind the back. I should have just took that pause and just went first and second, but instead he's going to chop this one right up the middle. Oh, but that's going to be easily flipped for a double play. So only able to get 1. So yeah, I stand by my previous statement. He should have took that one pause from the back. So that way we could have had runners at first and second. But instead, we're at least able to get 1 though. Maybe that'll wake up the offense here later in the game as we are in top of the 6th now. Marco Gonzalez has calmed down a little bit, but he's starting to get tired here. And I just want to force out 1 more inning if he can give it to me. Pause. I hate where we at right now, but I got to say these pause statements. I'm telling you, I'm not trying to say these pause-worthy statements, but I at least got to pause them after I say them. Just speaking in sports terms. Can we speak in sports terms, y'all? Y'all rock with me if I do that? Now y'all still gonna make me say no Diddy? All right, bet. So anyway, we do get a strikeout there on Kerry Carpenter though. I don't think somebody that also didn't make it long with us. Colt Keith, actually up at the major league roster. Somebody that didn't make it out of the minors for us. And maybe that's why he strikes out there. 4th strikeout of the game for Marco Gonzalez. Been pretty slow on that. But the pitch count is still high despite of it. But at least we get out of the inning, man. Lead off hits does not lead to anything for him. But that's strong innings for Marco Gonzalez. I think we'll probably call it after that, especially nearing 100 pitches here. Go ahead and call it for him. He's giving up 3 runs. And we'll have to try to let the bullpen be the ones to get this dub here today. As Michael A. Taylor launches a long ball deep to center field. Gone. Off the high shrubbery in the outfield. Deep to center field as that one will clear the deck. The cannonballs are coming. His 4th home run of the season. 431 feet. And Michael A. Taylor continuing to show up. Man, I hate the fact that he's 33. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, if I could change it up and make him like 20-something, I definitely would. Because I would love for him to be his key building block for my outfield for years to come. He is too good. Now here, We do have Henry Davis coming back up now as we will go ahead and swing through that one, trying to keep this rally going while it's hot. That's 3 school ball, 68 pitches. He's calmed his pitch count down. And we're going to see if we can get that right back up as this is going into the gap. That is going to get down for a automatic double bouncing over the wall. His 4th double of the season. Great extra base hit here. Still no outs, so great chance to try to tie the game up. As Rowdy Tellez will be up next. He's got a 2-2 count. Finds a sinker he likes, pulls it foul though. A little bit early on that. Gets another 4-seamer right down the middle. That's going to get down for a base hit and go past the outfielder. That's up against the wall, so it's going to be an easy run. And I don't know if they're going to give him the double, if they're going to get it a base hit and an error. We'll have to see. Getting a trophy there for trading places. And they are going to give him the RBI double. 4th double of the year. That's going to call the skip out to go ahead and make that replacement. Tariq Skubal had a pretty good game here. Maybe let him stay out there a little bit too long as the bats are finally starting to wake up. And they got to hope that they can crush this momentum with the bullpen. Miguel Diaz coming in for him. 1 game, 2 innings. Doing way better against righties than lefties, but that will not help as O'Neal Cruz is the first man he faces. And almost taking the head off of our first base coach there with that hard swing. O'Neal, I really wanted to be a key building block for us, so this could be a great chance to upgrade that runners in scoring position average, that average overall. Yes, he is 0 for 2 on the day. And so far here showing patience against Diaz. Even count. Swings and misses at the circle change low and below the knees. And he'll have to go sit things down. Brian Reynolds, it'll be up to you next. Another lefty. And showing exactly why that lefty average is so high. And we're going to go ahead and try to send the runner on home. That is Tellez coming to the plate, and they got him. That 4 speed was not enough to get around. I think if he even has 10 speed, he's probably in there. Great throw there. I think it's Kerry Carpenter in center field. Shout out to him for making that play. I did not think he was going to be able to. I did think it was going to be up the line, which it was. But still, 4 speed is just not enough. We got to hope that it does not come back to bite us. Even though that base hit would have scored him easily because we had runners at the corners. Kebron Hayes here. We'll go ahead and line this one out to right field as well. And we'll get bases loaded with 2 outs. Man, I hate that. It could have been bases loaded, 1 out. We could have had the lead. Instead, we had a ground ball over the shortstop with a great diving stop and throw over to second base. Javi Baez making the plays out there, and he's able to go ahead and get the final out of that inning. And we jump things to the top of the 8th here. You know we got our man Jose Hernandez in. Not a setup situation, not a close situation. So maybe Aroldis Chapman in the 9th if he does get tired. But for right now, we have Hernandez in trying to hold the door if possible. That's going to get down in the outfield for a base hit. Gio Urshela getting that one to try to pump up the Tigers, man. They got 2, 3, and 4 set to come behind him that we're going to have to sit down and not let this inning get out of reach. Even count here for Zach as he'll swing through the 4-seam heat and go sit down. Riley Green's up next. He's 1 for 3 on the day. He lines us on the ground there just past Hayes' outreach glove. Reynolds will have to come in and grab this one. That throw is going to be a long way over to Tellez instead of the cutoff man. But either way, Kerry Carpenter is going to come in here with a great chance to give the Tigers the lead. Hernandez trying to keep everything okay here. A .077 with runners in scoring position is great to see here from a 4-hitter. And that's exactly why he shouldn't be there. String and miss as Colt Keith will be up right behind him. And of course, we give him a 3-0 count. No call there on the 4-seamer at the knees. He'll walk over to first. And with that, we're going to dip into the bullpen before things get out of hand. Don't test it here. Aroldis Chapman is going to come in. 2 games to this point, 2 innings, and he's been pretty clean. Hasn't even given up a hit yet. Maybe looking like his old 2019, 2016 days back when he first came in the league with the Reds. So he'll have to go up against Spencer Torkelson, who we did have on the roster for much of the year. Ended up making his way to the bench near the tail end. And that's why exactly as he flies that one right out to our left fielder. And they're going to go to their bullpen. Andrew Chafin, one of the best lefty relievers, maybe not in this series, but that we have seen previously. As he'll go ahead and come in and try to shut the door here in the bottom of the 8th against our 3, 4, and 5 guys. as Tellez thrown out at the plate. Not a smart running decision here. And so far, not a smart swinging decision either. As he tries to check his swing there, they're going to say he went around. That'll be strikeout number 1 to start the inning off. And then O'Neal Cruz right behind him. Still a cold day as he pops this one up to third base. And I would not be surprised that average is dipping even lower below 100 at this point. As we're going to have to settle here with Brian Reynolds, the switch hitter. Knocking this one on the ground. Easy throw over as that is routinely made to take us into the 9th. And this is where the last 3 outs are going to be that lead us to, are we going to OT or extra innings or not? As Aroldis Chapman will face off against 7, 8, and 9. Baez leading them off though. 1-1. Watching that slider outside. Popped up. Cruz. He'll settle underneath it. Watching it come in, and he'll go ahead and make the play. Carson Kelly. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Follows up a pop out with a fly out. Reynolds coming in on his horse. He's going to grab that one just outreached with his glove. And the last man standing is Parker Meadows as he watches the slider low and away at the knees. Coming back inside at the knees. Pop that four-seamer up in the air. It's a 1-2 count. They're down to their last strikeout in regulation. That slider is not going to do it. That's chopped on the ground as well. That's still not going to do. Ball boy doing his job. Good work, good work. Swings and misses at the 4-seam. He still got it. Still able to hit triple digits if he needs to. Still able to hit those 99s if he needs to. But for the Tigers, they're going to go with Will Vest. 6 games already this season. 9 in the 3rd. Sheesh. You can tell who they trust. But 9 innings of work and still hasn't given up an earned run. That'd be great work as a starter. That's a shutout. Now for us, of course, we're going to get our bullpen up and warming just in case we have to go to extra innings. But we will see the bottom half of our lineup here, 6, 7, and 8. Try to go against Will Vest to get things started here. That's going to be a ground ball over the first. Flips it over to the pitcher to take it himself. It's out number 1. Next up, we have Ryan Hayes. You can see their bullpen is up and throwing too as well. Everybody's getting ready for extras just in case here. Upstairs. That one is fouled off. Not much room back there to go do anything with it. 1-1 here. Chopped on the ground right back to first base again. Same play, same result. As the pitcher, Will Vest will take care of it himself. And we're down to our final out before we take this thing into extra innings here. And that will be Edward Alvarez getting a blue base hit into right field. Not trying to give up at all. I love it. I'll push things to our 9-hitter as he's able to get on base here, just barely squeaking that one out in the right field. I'll leave things up to Lee Oliver Peguero. I think I'm saying his name right. If I'm not, make sure you guys leave that down below in the comment section. I want to make sure I'm saying at least my own teammates' names right. As the second pitch he sees will be a 4-seamer upstairs. He takes the opposite field. So Vest coming back with the 1-1. Great 4-seamer upstairs. Not able to do anything with it. Down to our final strike before extras. The 1-2. That is a 4-seam fastball right at the belt. And it is perfectly timed. Lee Oliver, walk off. Do your dance, do your dance, do your dance. As we're somehow able to get his first of the season. 460 feet. That ball was absolutely obliterated. Destroyed. You best believe we got cannonballs here in the park as we fade our way into the walk-off home run. And that is the second dub of the video that you guys are seeing here today. And I cannot believe it was that way. Walk-off. 2-run home run. Pull this one deep in the left. Can we see where it lands? Not even. As this was an exciting game from start to finish, man. I mean, it was a pitcher's duel for most of it. We were able to get a couple runs in there, and it came all the way down to the end with your Pirates having to come back. Down 3-0, score 5-0 unanswered to end the game. And we get the dub. Aroldis Chapman getting his first victory of the season, going 1 1/3 to shut this out for us. 11 hits as a squad as O'Neal Cruz was the only one to go 0 for. Roddy Tellez, Brian Reynolds, and the Oliver Peguero both getting 2-hit days here today is Davis and Tellez both hit extra base hits. Taylor and Peguero both hitting home runs. Reynolds extending his RBI lead up to 8 after the game. And then Marco Gonzalez, 6 innings, 3 earned, 4 Ks. That's a solid starting effort. Not enough to get the dub, though, because the runs came late, but at least it lowers the ERA a little bit. Jose Hernandez keeps his at 0, and same thing with the Aroldis Chapman. So we'll come out of that 3-9, still losing the series, or splitting the series with Detroit, but starting a series here with Philadelphia as we are losing the first 2 games here 2-16. Come on, y'all. How are we giving up 16 runs? 17 hits. We had 10 hits as a squad, so I mean, we could have scored more too. And our only runs came from a Henry Davis 2-run home run, but sheesh, Bailey gave up 5. It was Contreras again giving up 6. And I'm already seeing who ain't earning a contract by next year. It's Contreras. So we still got plenty more game here to go. Lee Oliver here getting injured. He'll be out for a couple games. No worries at all for that. More scouting to get through. We'll go ahead, like I said, a deeper dive through that a little bit later to show you guys more of what I'm finding here. I'm just getting my foot in the door, getting as much scouting as I can for a wide range of players. So we'll start showing off more individual players that I get at 100% or that I feel confident about later. Maybe next video. But for right now, we're going to get through this month of April, man. Still simulating forward here. Great game here. Cruz already has 2 home runs here. We get the dub against the Mets 9-5 as the Guardians want to offer up a trade here. We have Scott Barlow for, once again, going after one of our young talent. I'm not going for it with a old school reliever. I'm not giving up young talent for that. We're winning 1 against the Phillies. So far here against the Mets, looks like we have a chance here to take the series. We're up 5-4. Jose Hernandez just needs to shut the door here in the 7th. We're going to let him do it, and we lose 6-5. I got to see, was it Hernandez that gave it up, though? He's supposed to be one of my clutchest ones. Brian Reynolds getting a home run, 4 RBIs, too, today. Shout out to him. Hernandez actually did his thing. He held it. David Bednar got the blown save and the loss. Only able to get 2 outs in there, giving up the runs there late for a walk-off. So, unfortunately, that didn't help out at all. And we end up losing that series against the Mets too as well. So not looking too good here to start the season, but wins are coming at a premium. Only when we can here as we finally get a dub here against the Red Sox 2-1 to start off their series. We're 6-14 now. Down in this one 5-3. Runners at the corners though. Keep Brian Hayes. Can you win this one for us? Henry Davis 4 for 4 on the day. Sheesh, I saw that in the corner. Losing game 2 there, 3-5. And that's another thing too. Like, we're not going to play every single critical situation. Some of them we're going to sim through, but we're going to play the ones that look the most important, look the most interesting, hot level, especially here in the beginning of the season. Now, as the series gets later and it gets more and more clutch, we'll probably change what we consider as critical situations as the series evolves and changes, as the team evolves and changes. Here we kind of got it basic and brief just so that way we can see, stop, and look at some of these games and get plenty of opportunities to jump in and play with these guys. But here, right here, through April, we just wanted to get through this one quickly here as the Brewers offering us a trade. Everybody loves Sung Chi Chin. I got to go check the trade block. Do I have him on there or something? Why do I keep getting offers for him, but they be boo-boo offers? As Milwaukee here trying to sweep us, they're up 7-5. We have runners at first and second. We do come back and get the dub 10-7. And at least avoid a 4-game sweep here. Good job by the offense. 12 hits as a squad. I love that. 3 hits there for Connor Joe. 3 for 4 day. 0 for day for Henry Davis. Still average over 300, so nothing to worry about there. Joe gets the home run. 4 RBIs today, so shout out to him. McCutcheon and Hayes with the extra base hits. Cruz, 2 more errors. Mitch Keller, 4 1/3. Only 3 earned, but 5 runs total. Still got to get longer outings out of him than that. I expect so much more from him than just those little boo-boo starts. But it's got us at a point now where we are at 8-18, facing off against the 15-11 Giants. So another way we're going to get through these games, as I told you guys, will be critical, or not critical, but player lock games. So I wanted to go ahead and jump in here. So we have Jordan Hicks, who is now a starter. You guys remember he's been a reliever for at least as long as I've known him as a player. He's been a long reliever, has a lot of stamina, and pitches well out of the bullpen. But I guess here in this game, he's a starter. Maybe he's actually starting real life for the Giants too as well. I haven't paid too much attention to the Giants and what they've been going on with. I've kind of been focused on the Yankees primarily, but we'll get in more to a wider range as the season goes along. Here's we get a solid hit ball here by Michael A. Taylor out to outfield and not doing anything. I want to focus this game on Michael Taylor because he's been such a strong player for us this season. Obviously hitting .295 now. but was over 300. So I wanted to focus in on him. He's had a hot start to the year. Like I said, I wish he were a little bit younger so he can be around long term. But I think he can hold down the outfield spot while we retool it up out there and give the younger guys time to develop for at least 2, maybe even 3 more seasons. At least the way he's playing right now, as this will be an extra base hit here in the top of the 6th. We are down 8-1. One thing I did notice quickly about these player logs is it actually tells you up there in the top left. I don't know if you guys saw that. It'll tell you what happened while it's simulated. Exactly how, at least how runs were scored. Maybe not every single out, but at least it'll tell you how the runs were scored, who's got the RBIs, who hit the home runs, or who hit the base hit that scored them in, or the sac fly. And here in this game, we are down once again 8-1. As we haven't been putting up much offense, but the pitching has been terrible. And you can see here, popped up behind first base. Not going to do anything with that. And my quick tell you here is we do get another RBI base hit from Peguero. So now it's 8-2 here in the top of the 8th. Can we get a little rally going against Keaton Wynn? Yeah, great center fielder. Guy's a decent arm, great fielding ability. I think he'll be somebody that we can obviously model somebody after. He's got great power. Contact is low, vision is low, but he's a good power guy, good fielder. Speed is pretty good, a little bit above average, 77 speed, 28 steal. So here after the base hit, I wanted to see what 77 speed could do. So we're going to go ahead and take off for second. Swing and a miss by the batter. No throw down, I guess, because of how much they're up by. So I guess I understand. But, hey, a steal's a steal, and that's his 3rd of the season. Old legs still get moving. But they do not get scoring as Cruz strikes out there to end the rally 8-2. And just like that, we lose to the Giants, man, by that final score. Not able to put up any run support here. Only 5 hits as a squad, and we had 2 of them. Peguero also had 2 of them. Taylor's 5th double of the day. Davis' 6th home run. And after the game, they actually offer us a trade for the starting pitcher that just beat us, Jordan Hicks, 27 years old, B potential, and they want Andrew McCutchen. This is a team in the playoff hunt. McCutchen doing okay for us, 3 home runs, 7 RBIs, 200 average. They could use some depth out there. They value him. We value our starting pitching, and if Jordan Hicks is going to come in, he probably actually would be moved to my bullpen as a long reliever. I probably wouldn't even leave him as a starter, but I value him that much that at 27 years old, I think he has a lot left in the tank. I think he's got another 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6 years in him to go back into that bullpen role and maybe even be a pinch, spot starter for us if I need him to be. So I'm not mad at this trade at all. I'm going to go ahead and accept it. Our very first trade of the series, you guys, is actually for somebody that just beat us. And I know that's probably hurts a lot of you Pirates fans, but Andrew McCutchen, he had to go. He's the first one out the door. There's going to be many more that's going to be leaving. But he was the first one that had to go. Great career. Let's go ahead and give a moment of silence for the GOAT. And during that moment of silence, we were able to go ahead and get a base hit with hopefully the new team's GOAT, Henry Davis. Also had an amazing start to the season. He's young, B potential prospect catcher at 23 years old. And I think he's going to be a great catcher behind the dish. Great bat, too, to go along with it. As he's hitting for an average. He's got home runs and power ability. And here today, we're down 3-0 in the top of the 5th. We have a runner in scoring position for him and a chance to show that he can be clutch as well. Look at that, 333 in his last 6 games. 1 for 2 here today. And with a 1-0 count, he flies this one and bloops it right in front of the center fielder for an RBI base hit. Very clutch hit there to at least get us on the board. And maybe that'll give us spark to our offense that we need. Behind him, Brian Reynolds, who has been hitting strong too as well. As a switch hitter too, it helps out with matchups. Righty versus lefties. That one's going to get dropped. He's going to still take it to himself and beat him out at the bag. Great foot race there to go to get it in. But you can see here, Hayes, 2 RBI single. Taylor RBI on a hit by pitch. So basically must have been loaded for that. I guess right before this, as we have in the top of the 6th, bases juice 1 out. And that's going to be a long fly ball to left field. Not going to get out of here, but that should be more than deep enough to go to move the runner into the plate as there will be no throw. Just going into third base there. We go to extend the lead a little bit longer, 5-3. And we actually come away with this dub because of it. Shout out to Henry Davis. This game I turned off like fielding opportunities. I did not want to play catcher. I don't know if y'all have ever done that before, but catcher is not fun to do. Especially if you get stuck back there the whole game. It is crazy. But we were able to go and get this done, man. Martin Perez, once again on the back half of our rotation, 6 innings, 3 earned strong. And the bullpen held the door with our 3 most trusted guys. And that'll help us out with kind of closing out the month of April here. As we're coming down to the nitty gritty. Jordan Hicks getting an injury here. As we're getting down to the last couple of games. Bases loaded here for Hernandez. We're up 5-2. But the Athletics do have bases juiced against us. Jared Trillo getting hurt there for about 10 days. We do end up coming away with the dub as Jordan Hicks comes back from his injury. So we won that game 5-4. And we'll go ahead and finish out the series 2 as well against the A's. Marco Gonzalez once again 7 1/3, trying to go for the complete game victory here. We're up 6-0, so why not step into the game? Going for a complete game shutout, why not? You can see some of our team rankings there, both us and the Athletics, where we rank at. I know we're probably middle of the pack on offense, last on the pitching, but here today, pitching is looking entirely too strong for us as we're bottom of the 8th, only 1 out. Runner is at second base. They got the heart of the order up. 3 and 4 sets due up. JD Davis first as he takes the 0-2 pitch off the bag. That's going to be called fair. Of course, the runner's going to go all the way to the plate. Throw will come in on time, on line, and he's out of there. Great awareness. I think that's cute. Brian Hayes still over at third. I don't think he has the day off. Making the play off the bag and great awareness to throw that one home. And then we get Ryan Noda here to ground this one over to second for the easy play. It's going to take us into the 9th inning. We'll have to see if they managed to keep him out there. I think they did end up taking him out. And for whatever reason, they didn't give me the option this time to go in and just said simulate to the end. I was my only choice. So Marco Gonzalez goes 8 innings, gives up 7 hits, 7 strikeouts. We're able to walk away with the dub. 11 hits as a squad. Nick Gonzalez, who I put in the starting rotation here recently, 3 for 4. As we're kind of rotating that second base position in and out off the hot hand. And right now, Nick Gonzalez is the hot hand. He's now batting over 300. O'Neal Cruz finally getting his 6th home run, up to 18 RBIs, so maybe he's catching stride a little bit too as well. And Marco Gonzalez, great start overall, but doesn't take away from the fact that we are 11-21 and the 3rd worst team in the NL with 34% win percentage, 4 for 6 in our last 10. We got some turning around to do if we at least want to be decent. But hey, if we end up with the number 1 pick, we end up with the number 1 pick. I'm not going to stop it. I'm just not going to tank either. Quick look at some of the stats here for the team. 6 home runs by Cruz and Davis are leading the way. 18 RBIs for both. Haven't seen too much progression for Cruz, but hopefully he turns it around. That 215 average, though, is looking kind of sad. Davis at least hitting 343. He's already up to a 73 overall with +3 to his contact versus righties. Michael A. Taylor at 5 home runs, 15 RBIs, batting 318 for us. Connor Joe hitting 333 for us with a 411 on base percentage. And he's 31, which does suck how old he is, but he's performing great for us right now. So I'll take it while he's here. Maybe he'll stick around for at least 1 more year and help tutelage some of the young guys in the order, as he is one of the only starters up above 400 on his on base. Slugging, we got Edward at 714, Henry Davis at 590. And then one thing that I do like to look at for our hitters too here, outside of WAR, Henry Davis with a 1.2 is ISO. Edward Alvarez 429, Henry Davis 248, O'Neal Cruz 224. And from what I've heard, anything above 200 is above average. So love seeing those numbers. ERAs, we're seeing a lot more guys under 4 now. We're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys under a 4 ERA, which is great. The stat I look at for my starters is how many quality starts that you have compared to your game started. Marco Gonzalez, who we just saw, and Mitch Killer, both of them boys with 3 out of 7, 2 out of 6 for Martin, and Hicks 2 for 5, as well as Bailey and Luis Ortiz both getting 1 of 6. So definitely got some work to do here. Like I said, Hicks could be somebody that comes in and pitch starts if somebody's really bad, but for the most part, he's going to be my long reliever. And here's some of the team stats here. Ending the episode out real quick. Batting average, as a squad, we are sitting at number 8, batting 264. So I told you the hitting stats were looking pretty good. Runs, we're sitting at 11th, middle of the pack here with 145. Not too bad at all. Home runs, want to see how many bombs we were hitting this season, and we're about 17, so below average a little bit at 36 of those things. And then pitching, as far as our ERA goes, I already know we're about to be one of the worst teams in this. Yep, 28. Only 2 teams worse than us, the A's, who we just beat, and the Mariners. But with a 501 team ERA, we have some work to do with our rotation. I think it starts there too, because our bullpen for the most part is pretty good. It's our long relievers and starting pitchers that we got to worry about. So we'll get deeper into that next episode. We'll get deeper into the draft, deeper into the month of May, maybe even hit a little bit of June and knock down them 71 days as much as possible in the next episode. So if you guys are enjoying the series, please hit it with a like, comment, subscribe for your boy. I really enjoy making this content for you guys, and I would love to reach more people. So the more support you guys show, the more they'll see it and love and come and join the family. So it's been your boy SGG, aka the King of Games, aka SmooveGotGame, aka GM Smooth. I know this episode wasn't too good, and this team is looking pretty bad, but remember, it's all about the future. We've already made one move to make that happen with Jordan Hicks. Who's next? Catch you guys in the next episode. I'm going for the day. Later.